Hi guys, and welcome back. Thanks for joining me. And I had a lot of questions about this, so I just wanted to give you all something that can be highly useful in understanding hypnosis from a practical aspect. So this is how. How can hypnosis help me to stop binge eating? I know, what a question, right? Because I do work with so many clients in that space, binge eating, and assisting them to go beyond those kind of compulsions. And it all really makes sense if you understand the functions of your unconscious. Now, your unconscious mind, as I've said before, in charge of so much. Physiology, obviously, and then memories, emotions, behaviours. And its top job is to keep you safe and to protect you. Yeah, protection. It's number one. And from time to time, it gets confused. See, imagine your unconscious mind as a 6 or 5 or 4-year-old. Now, speaking to you as a child, wouldn't it be fair to say that things get confusing at times, that especially if mum or dad, when I'm speaking of mum or dad, I'm speaking of the conscious mind. If the conscious mind sends mixed messages, then the deeper mind, your unconscious, gets confused from time to time. But one of the most major confusion points that seems to come up time and time again, this isn't everyone, but it might well resonate with you. From time to time, it so happens that, younger kids, think about being 5 years old and you go through a negative emotional event. As I say, a yucky or an ouchie, my technical term for a negative emotion. When you experience a negative emotion, an event that maybe blindsided you, caught you off guard, well, what often happens when we are upset as kids? Other than getting a cuddle or a kiss and, kissing it all better and all that wonderful stuff that mums and dads do to make us feel better, it might give us a treat to make us feel better. Chocky, ice cream, cake. If you're lucky, a piece of pizza. It's not sweet, but it does taste good. But insert some kind of yummy food here. I'll tell you something, I didn't get carob when I had a yucky or an ouchie. I got Cocoa Pops. All jokes aside, sugar's a common one that gets used in our society to, make you feel a little bit better. Back to that song, a spoonful of sugar helps the what? Well, it can help yuckies and ouchies go away too. At least we've been conditioned to believe that. So in that moment when we have the fattening or carb laden or sugary food, at least it seemed as if the pain goes away. Well, there was some element of pleasure that allowed us to perceive that. And your unconscious mind, being a pattern recognition system concerned with safety and protection, takes a snapshot. It's going to the App Store or the Google Play Store or the Samsung Store and installing that app on your smartphone. We have now installed a program inside the deeper mind. And the code or the line of code looks something like this. Whenever I experience a yucky or an ouchie, this is how we make the pain go away. Now let's fast forward into the present day. Here you are, experiencing life full of bumps, bruises, ups and downs. And when one of those downs comes around and you end up in the lost and found, somewhere in the pantry or the servo or who knows. But what I do know is we can from time to time find ourselves reaching for all of the above that I just previously mentioned. Sugar, fat, carbs. Something that's not going to assist you to lose weight. And it's just that inner child, your unconscious, reaching for something to make the pain go away. And because your unconscious mind is 95% of you, the old iceberg diagram that I often refer to, everything below the surface is your unconscious. You've got 95% of you running a program and it's pushing for this sweet treat or savory treat, whatever that might be. So when you wake up in the morning and tell yourself, I'm not going to do that today, it's only 5% of your mind you're using. And you've got 95% pulling in the opposite direction. It's literally a tug of war. 95% is pulling in the opposite direction, saying no, no, no. Safe, protective. We're going to do this. We're going for this. See how you go defying this program. Now, it's not doing it to be malicious or mean or nasty. It's doing it to, quote unquote, protect you and to keep you safe. Just wants to help. Funny way of helping, right? But that's how it's wired. Now, hypnosis and NLP are just about talking to that deeper part of you, speaking directly to it and saying, hey, I know, we understand that you think this behavior is helpful. It helped in the past, so you figure it's still helpful, but it's outdated and it's time to update the software. That's fundamentally what hypnosis and NLP is all about. It's about talking to the right part of the mind that can create the change. Because a lot of other forms of talk therapy just deal with the conscious mind. And my metaphor for that is, if you want something to change in a company, would you go speak to the guy working at the door or on the factory floor necessarily, or would you go to the CEO or the manager that can then induct everyone into the new way of doing things? Culturally, cross-contextually, and fundamentally, inductively, from the inside out. That's how hypnosis works, from the inside out. Now, there's many steps to it, whether it's clearing negative emotions, because those yuckies or ouchies, they drive it, they're the fuel to the fire. Shifting limiting beliefs. Beliefs like, I have to finish this food on my plate, or hurry up and eat, or food equals pleasure, or whatever that is. Releasing those beliefs and then just making sure that there's no internal conflict. But when we do those things combined together in clinic, phenomenal results. People's lives transform rapidly and easily. And this can happen for you too. Whether it's in clinic with me or just learning how your mind works so you can work with it rather than against it. Sad thing is, often because we don't know exactly how our mind works, we're working against it. So you can learn how to learn the rules. You can learn how to work with it. It is a journey. It does take effort and determination, but boy, oh boy, is it worthwhile. It just makes life easier. Thanks so much for joining me. Matthew Tweedy Hypnosis, both the website, Instagram, Facebook, Empowered NLP, and the new podcast. Got a fantastic topic coming up on there soon. Please tune in. It's the power of practice. Thanks again. Keep growing and evolving.